majority that supported, and even those that opposed. I think it enhances our democracy. And I want also to thank those that didn't oppose for the sake of opposing, which is very good. It creates an environment that allows for inclusivity. And I saw that others they ran, like I said, in one direction, indicating that a constitution does not bring food on the table, does not ensure that this constitutional amendment does not ensure that we have a good road. And I responded to that in my speech before they debated that a constitution is not a grocery list document. It's a document that is an enabler that allows an environment where a baker will be able to bake bread, and bread will be found in grocery shops, where government will be able to plan properly, and a road will be constructed just like what we did with Harare Bait Bridge Road. So this is not a document whereby you can use to go shopping with. It is an enabler. It creates an environment that ensures that all those things happen. And I just want to applaud the kind of debate that was done by Honorable Pulu. He spoke to the substance of the bill rather than to the emotion or to the politics. And I think that is the thrust that we're looking at, to say, let's look at the substance of the bill. What is the mischief that we want to cure? How do we cure it without politicking to say that I oppose it because it takes away one man, one vote? And I think he articulated it very well. And I think Honorable Senator Chief Mutasa ably responded to that. I will not repeat what he said for purposes of peace in the House. So I also want to agree with Honorable Pulu to some extent. I will then see when we get to the committee stage if we can include. I believe that conflict will always happen in any society, and a clause that deals with post-conflict healing and reconciliation is a necessary clause. And I think the Attorney General is listening attentively. I hope she has assisted me to ensure that we can include it. And like what Honorable Senator said, this House is not a rubber stamp. You sniff through and see things that perhaps the National Assembly failed to see, and then you make sure that you clean it up and you propose to them that this is what you left out. Can the National Assembly tidy up the document? And I believe that this is some of the issues that you spoke about. And I also want to thank Honorable Senator Chief Charumbira on behalf of the chiefs when he concluded, indicating the chiefs are in agreement with the bill. He spoke passionately about chiefs being politicians, which is what we thought initially. We wanted to be silent, Honorable President, and not restrict chiefs to say chiefs must not be apolitical. They are restricted. But we accepted that our thinking that they were politicians was overtaken by chiefs saying they are everything. But Honorable Chief Senator Charumbira then wanted to confuse issues to say that they are everything, which is what we had agreed in the first place. But we believe that we work within the parameters of what we have amended. And I believe that some of the issues that he mentioned, with the help of our Attorney General, we can come up with an act of parliament to cure some of them. And we believe that the position of chiefs should be respected, and I agree with that. And I want to thank again Honorable Senator Chabangu for a lot of things that are insightful that he spoke about, the post-conflict healing and reconciliation. But I want to make a correction for the record. I don't believe there was genocide in Zimbabwe. In fact, there was no genocide. There was a conflict, but there was never a deliberate government policy at any one time to eliminate one tribe against the other. I come from an area where all tribes stay, not a single tribe was eliminated. So I believe that in trying to express our feelings, sometimes we become animated and will be quoted wrongly. I think that statement, it was overexcitement. There was no genocide. Having said that, Honorable President, the President is a champion of ensuring that the Gukurahundi issues are concluded and concluded conclusively. And I believe that when he came in, he started engaging traditional leaders, and he has even said at one forum where I was that he wants the chiefs to take charge and tell us how those issues are supposed to be resolved, because each and every chief has his own or her own traditions and customs that they follow, and whatever they believe would appease the spirits and ensure that we become united, the chiefs must take the lead. But we have agreed that we need, going forward, a clause that speaks to post-conflict resolution and national healing. But what we reject, what I reject, Mr. President, is that there was at any time in this country a deliberate policy to do what Senator Chabangu said. We have never been a country like that. In fact, we are a proud nation that knows no tribalism. Mr. President said, you go to any part of the country, you will find a person, a minority group, or someone from Mashingo, you may find in Matebeleren. Someone in Matebeleren, you find them in Zimba. Mr. President, if you may allow me to give this example, I have a chairlady, and we call her Mundevere, and she never loses an election in Zimba. And this, what I'm saying is correct and true. And she never loses an election in Zimba. So I believe that we must not rewrite history and flare up emotions, but let's unite our people. Having said that, Mr. President, I also want to agree with Senator Chabangu that some of the things that we have done because of partisan politics to appease a populist opinion have come back to haunt us. In 2000, a constitution was made and it was rejected, but it had very progressive clauses in it, and we had to wait until 2013 to come up with another constitution. History will not treat us well if we don't pass this amendment, because it has got several progressive provisions in it that will ensure not only us, but generations to come will progress and our country will develop because of that. So I want to agree with Senator Chabangu in that regard, and largely applaud him for the stance that he has taken to look at the substance of the bill rather than take a populist position that is being propelled by other opposition politicians to oppose for the sake of opposing. And I think I want to support and thank all the honorable senators for the very mature debate that happened in this house. You see, whenever I come to this house with a bill, I'm relaxed, because I always find senators debating in a mature and intelligent manner, not animated for the purposes of appeasing social media But speaking to the substance of the bill, and I want to applaud the way you handled even the deliberations, Mr. President. Having said that, I move that the bill be now read the second time. I thank you.